Hey there, crafty friends. Welcome to 2024 on the Suzanne Stamps and Scraps YouTube channel. So glad you could join me. I'm Suzanne here in the studio today, and we are going to start out talking about mix-in magic. One of the things that Close to My Heart does in each catalog, in addition to having a paper line for each of the 2 months, they also have a mix-in. So here you see before you are some of the previous mix-ins that I have. These are some of my very oldest ones. And I want to see if I can get these used up. So I'm going to make a concerted effort to do that. But before I do, I want to talk a little bit more about mix-ins. Okay, let's start out by taking a look at the one of the January, February papers. And this is Sweet Memories. Here is the beautiful sticker sheet. And then here are the papers. You get 2 of each. As you can see here, this is multicolor. It features mink, mist, mulberry, periwinkle, sage, and white daisy. And it is a multicolor print. And then on the reverse of that, we have just a single color with white print. And then the next one here, we have all of those colors again on this, and then on the back of that we have a single color, and then the final sheet is a single color and a single color. So what they've done here is they've taken each of those 4 colors and given you one of those pattern papers, and then you've got this and this in order to tie the other colors together. So that's kind of how that paper pack works. Let's look at the actual mix-in here for this one. Now this would go with both the January and the February papers. And here we have, again, you have 2 of each. No, you have 1 of each. Here, so here, some beautiful patterns, but they are all single color. Now, other manufacturers tend to give you more, in a collection, tend to give you more papers that include multiple colors. So while these are beautiful, I'm not sure that they're as versatile as if they had given me something with multicolors. Let me look back and show you one of the early mix-ins I had gotten. This was from January through March. I think this is back in 2000. And here, right off the bat, we have a multicolor paper. And on the back, it's also multicolor. Here, we have a multicolor paper. And on the back, it's also multicolor. And then we have a tone-on-tone, single color, tone-on-tone, single color, single color, single color, single color. So while these worked wonderfully with the papers back then, if you don't actually get these used up while you have the papers, then you still have these mix-in sheets that kind of tie all of these together. So I think this is going to be the first mix-in I'm actually going to work with this year for a little mix-in magic. Okay, let's look at the layouts. Here we have the first one. I started with a double. This is inspiration that I got from a 2018 Close to My Heart catalog. So it's worth saving catalogs. Even though trends change, you can get some good basic ideas as starting points, and then you can work off of that. Okay, here as you can see, I've got basically a 6x12 in the middle, and then I've put stuff top and bottom. I then used the paper to make 3 sort of 3x4 pocket cards, and then I embellished them. in the inspiration layout that I was looking at, they had stamped a great big sentiment here. So that would be another way to make this. Here I'm using vellum from my stash. And one of the things I like to do for continuity when I'm just pulling things from my stash to go with paper that's coordinated is to try and use 2 or 3 things that are from the same place. So here I've used vellum twice here. And then when I went looking for pocket cards, I took 3 from the same group. And these are basically black and white. Here I used markers to pick up some of the color. Here, this is a punched out card from the same set, and I did the home at the bottom, and then I circle punched this, and then as you can see here, I added some sort of honey butter yellow color to this as well to make that tie in. And then as you can see, this toffee brown color doesn't actually appear in either of these patterns I'm kind of using to pull my colors together, but I went ahead and used it, and then I picked up on it by using some leftover close to my heart wood grain little die cut embellishments. I had some hearts and flowers, and then this True Bliss little cutout. And then I just, since I had something going across the bottom of this one, I kind of echoed that by doing a little splattering of hearts and flowers. And then I added in last some nice melon hearts as kind of a little bit of jewelry at the end. So I'm really kind of glad how this turned out. I think the wood helps your eye just work your way across the page, so it'll be really cute with photos on it. Okay, after that I decided I wanted to do a couple of singles rather. Here's the first one, and this was also taken from an old catalog, in that I was just looking at some of the layouts they do to show off the mix-in paper pads. And they a lot of times use strips or squares or hexagons. They just use a lot of the different patterns. So I decided to I use this zip strip as sort of to pick the colors. And this background here is actually one of the other mix-in papers. I was just going to use toffee or white, and then I saw that. I thought, okay, I might as well use that since this is supposed to be mix-in magic. Here I did a very simple 5x7. I cut melon cardstock to 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Then I cut this paper to 5 3/8 by 7 3/8. And then I cut another melon and used the light side at 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. So each of these is slightly larger. So you get that little bit of sort of fan effect there. And then for embellishments, I went to this American Crafts gold foam thickers. And also all of these stickers then came from a Pink Fresh that happened to have some of the same colors. So that worked out pretty well. And I feel like it's got a lot of continuity because these stickers all do come from the same. And then I've put the gold in different places. And then I finished this one off with some melon stars. So if you're interested, I believe I cut these at 2 1/4 and then lined them up. Now, of course, this is kind of a beginner tip, but in case you don't know it, when you're trying to fill a space with lots of things like this, if you have an odd number, you put the end ones on first, then you center the middle one, and then these last two you center in between these, and that'll give you pretty much equal spacing. Okay, so there's that little tip. And then I just had one more. Here I really wanted to use the blue, and this was kind of tricky because this had blue stripes on it, and this had multicolor stripes on it, and the yellow had stripes on it. And so of what I had left, I had to be careful because you can't really stack a bunch of stripes all going in the same direction real close to each other. So it was kind of fun to play with to see if I could fix that, and I did. And I did it by using this white, this is 10 by 10 white daisy here. And so that gives this blue breathing room from this multicolor stripe here. So it turned out real cute. I decided to look at those stickers again, and this feels like home, capturing the details of life documented around here. That all gave me the idea to use hashtag today. And those were some thickers that I had gotten not all that long ago. And then I used some pink fresh flowers here to pick up the yellow. And then I went to buttons because I had pale blue up here, but I didn't really have any pale blue down here. So I decided to pull that color down here by using buttons. And these all, I can't remember, I think these are paper tray buttons. And I went shiny with those. And then I finished with just a few melon dots. So I really like how this one turned out. I like them all, but this may be my favorite of the three. Okay, so there you have me using the mix-in paper pack up. So next time you're looking at a catalog, check out the mix-in paper pack and see how it would coordinate with either extending a workshop or extending a paper pack or sticker sheet, or if there's some multicolor papers in there, it almost can stand on a paper pack all its own. All right, as always, I appreciate your time and attention. Bye for a bit.